Air pressure is highest at sea level. As we go up the layers of the atmosphere, the pressure falls rapidly. Moisture in the air at any time is known as humidity. When the air is full of water vapor, we call it a humid day. Who wrote the book Hind Swaraj? Mahatma Gandhi. Gandhi wrote Hind Swaraj in 1909 while traveling from London to South Africa. Which projection is best suited for mapping mid-latitude countries like the USA or Russia? Conic with one standard parallel. Conical projections have the least distortion in the temperate mid-latitude zones. The Mesopotamian sky god was known as Anu. Anu was the god of the heavens and the king of the gods in early Mesopotamian religion. Which method is best suited to study the relationship between hours of sleep and exam performance? Correlational method. Correlation allows researchers to see if two variables change together without implying cause and effect. Who is the author of the book Wings of Fire? APJ Abdul Kalam. Wings of Fire is the autobiography of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Article 8 of the Indian Constitution deals with the citizenship of persons of Indian origin residing outside India. Article 8 provides citizenship to certain persons of Indian origin residing outside India for purposes of employment, marriage, or education. Commonwealth citizenship was mentioned in the original Citizenship Act, 1955, but was repealed by the Amendment Act of 2003. The provision for Commonwealth citizenship was repealed by the Citizenship Amendment Act, 2003. Xanthium seeds are dispersed by animals. Xanthium seeds have hooks that attach to the fur of animals. Civil liberty refers to the freedom an individual enjoys as a member of a civil society. Civil liberty is the freedom guaranteed and protected by the laws of the state. What does negative liberty primarily imply? Absence of external constraints. Negative liberty refers to an area in which an individual can act unobstructed by others or the state. The Jallianwala Bagh Memorial is located in Amritsar. The memorial commemorates those killed in the 1919 massacre in Amritsar. An aqueous solution turns red litmus solution blue. Excess addition of which of the following would reverse the change? Hydrochloric acid. The solution is basic, red to blue. Adding an acid like HCl will make it acidic and turn blue litmus back to red. The tendency to remember the first items in a list better than those in the middle is called primacy effect. The primacy effect occurs because early items in a list have more time to be rehearsed and transferred to long-term memory. The Statue of Equality in Hyderabad commemorates which philosopher? Ramanujacharya. The 216-foot-tall statue honors the 11th century Vaishnavite saint Ramanujacharya. Who is considered the father of economics? Adam Smith. Adam Smith wrote The Wealth of Nations and is known as the father of modern economics. High tides help in all of the above. High tides raise the water level close to the shores, helping ships enter ports. Which agency provides credit to farmers through Kisan credit cards? All of the above. KCCs are issued by commercial, rural, and cooperative banks to provide timely credit to farmers. What was the significance of the city of Ur? A major port and religious center for the moon god Nanna. Ur was a coastal city in ancient times and a major center for the worship of the moon god. What is the total number of railway zones in India, including Metro Railway, Kolkata? 18. There are currently 18 railway zones in India, with South Coast Railway being the latest addition. In which continent did the earliest traces of human ancestors emerge approximately 6 million years ago? Africa. Evidence suggests that the earliest hominids evolved in East Africa. What is the pH of pure water? 7. Pure water is neutral and has a pH of exactly 7. Aqua regia is a freshly prepared mixture of concentrated HCl and concentrated HNO3 in the ratio 3:1. Aqua regia consists of 3 parts concentrated HCl and 1 part concentrated HNO3 by volume. What is a developable surface? A geometric shape that can be flattened without distortion. Cylinders, cones, and planes are developable surfaces used in projections. Who is the first person to set foot on the moon? Neil Armstrong. Neil Armstrong commanded the Apollo 11 mission and walked on the lunar surface on 20th July 1969. Bile juice helps in the digestion of fats. Bile emulsifies fats, breaking them into smaller droplets for enzymes to act on. Which instrument measures the atmospheric pressure? Barometer. A barometer is used to measure the weight of the air. Which Mesopotamian city was famous for its royal palace and trade in copper and tin? Mari. Mari was a prosperous trading city on the Euphrates known for its royal palace and diplomatic archives. What is geocoding? Assigning geographic coordinates to data. Geocoding allows addresses or locations to be placed on a map. What is stagflation? High inflation with low growth, high unemployment. Stagflation is a condition of slow economic growth and relatively high unemployment accompanied by rising prices. Who is the author of The Palace of Illusions? Chitra Banerjee Divakruni. The novel is a reimagining of the Mahabharata from Draupadi's perspective. To acquire citizenship by naturalization, a person must have resided in India for how many years during the 14 years preceding the application? 11 years. According to the third schedule of the 1955 Act, the period of residence is 11 years. This was reduced to 5 years for specific communities under the 2019 amendment. The period of early human history characterized by the use of polished stone tools is Neolithic. The Neolithic period is distinguished by the refinement of stone tools and the birth of agriculture. The structural and functional unit of the kidney is nephron. Nephrons are microscopic structures that filter blood and form urine. Sweat contains water and salts. Sweat helps in cooling the body and removing small amounts of salts and waste. What is a map that shows natural features like mountains, rivers, and plains called? Physical map. Physical maps represent the natural relief features of the earth. The meander of a river is best shown on which type of map? Topographical map. Topo maps show detailed drainage patterns including meanders. The phloem tissue is involved in food transport. Phloem carries nutrients, sucrose, from leaves to all parts of the plant. Standard time is used because local time varies from place to place. A standard time prevents confusion caused by varying local solar times within a country. What is the main objective of the Make in India initiative? Promoting manufacturing in India. Make in India was launched to encourage companies to manufacture their products in India and increase investment. In which city is the Salarjung Museum located? Hyderabad. The Salarjung Museum is an art museum located at Darul Shifa, Hyderabad. Large deposits of loess are found in China. Loess is very fine, wind-blown silt that is deposited over large areas. Who signs the 1 rupee note in India? Finance Secretary. Currency notes of 1 rupee are issued by the Ministry of Finance and signed by the Finance Secretary. The smallest unit of a digital image is called a pixel. Pixel stands for picture element. Which of the following is a direct tax in India? Income tax. Income tax is paid directly by an individual to the government, making it a direct tax. The olive ridley sea turtles are famous for nesting at which beach in Odisha? Gahirmatha. Gahirmatha Marine Sanctuary is the world's largest nesting beach for olive ridley turtles. The planned holiday in India occurred after which 5-year plan? Third plan. A planned holiday was declared for 3 years, 1966 to 69, following the failure of the third 5-year plan due to wars and drought. Which of the following ionize completely in water? Strong acid. Strong acids and strong bases are characterized by their ability to ionize or dissociate completely in water. Which gas is released as a byproduct during photosynthesis? Oxygen. Oxygen is produced when water molecules are split during the light reaction. Who is known as the first citizen of India? President of India. By protocol, the President of India is considered the first citizen of the country. Which Indian poet is known as the Nightingale of India? Sarojini Naidu. Sarojini Naidu was given this title for her lyrical and beautiful poetry. Which tree is known as the national tree of India? Banyan. The banyan tree, Ficus bengalensis, is the national tree, symbolizing eternal life due to its expanding branches. Who is the author of Malgudi Days? R.K. Narayan. R.K. Narayan is famous for his works set in the fictional South Indian town of Malgudi. The process of taking food into the body is called ingestion. Ingestion is the first step of nutrition involving the intake of food. How many Maharatna companies are there currently in India as of early 2026 context? 13. The number of Maharatna CPSEs is currently 13. Example, ONGC, NTPC, Dhel, all. Which Mughal emperor built the Red Fort in Delhi? Shah Jahan. Shah Jahan moved the capital from Agra to Delhi and built the Red Fort, Lal Killa. Old woody stems breathe through small openings called lenticels. Lenticels are small areas of loose cells in the bark of woody plants that allow for gas exchange. The Dachigam National Park is famous for the protection of which species? Hangul. Dachigam, near Srinagar, is the only place where the Hangul or Kashmir stag is found. Which Mesopotamian ruler was the first to unify the Sumerian and Akkadian city-states? Sargon of Akkad. Sargon of Akkad established the first multi-ethnic, centrally ruled empire. Digestion of starch starts in the mouth. Salivary amylase in the mouth begins the breakdown of starch into sugars. Iron began to replace bronze for tool-making around 1000 BC. The transition to the Iron Age occurred around the end of the 2nd millennium BC. The most common form of precipitation is rain. Rainfall is very important for the survival of plants and animals. Map generalization refers to the process of simplifying map details to fit the scale. As scale decreases, details must be simplified or removed to maintain clarity. The Swanidhi Se Samriddhi program is an extension of which scheme? PM Swanidhi. It aims to provide social security benefits to the families of PM Swanidhi beneficiaries. The Ajanta caves, famous for ancient Buddhist paintings, are located in which state? Maharashtra. The Ajanta caves are located in the Aurangabad district of Maharashtra. What is the uppermost layer over the Earth's surface called? Crust. The crust is the thinnest of all the layers, about 35 kilometers on continental masses. The domain of water is referred to as hydrosphere. The hydrosphere comprises various sources of water and different types of water bodies. What is the pH of human blood? 7.4. Human blood is slightly basic, with a normal pH range of about 7.35 to 7.45. A democracy is generally considered the best system for preserving freedom because it relies on the rule of law and popular consent. Democracy provides mechanisms for accountability and the protection of individual rights through the legal system. The Leaning Temple of Huma is dedicated to which deity? Lord Shiva. Located in Odisha, it is the only leaning temple in the world dedicated to Lord Shiva. What is the primary objective of the Beti Bachao Beti Padhao scheme? Improve sex ratio and female education. Launched in 2015, it aims to address the declining child sex ratio and promote girls' education and empowerment. Who is the founder of the Scout movement? Robert Baden-Powell. Lord Baden-Powell started the Boy Scouts movement in 1908. Who discovered penicillin? Alexander Fleming. Alexander Fleming discovered the world's first antibiotic, penicillin, in 1928. The orbital path of a satellite that stays over the same spot on Earth is geostationary orbit. Geostationary satellites rotate at the same speed as the Earth. What is microeconomics? Study of individual economic units like households and firms. Microeconomics deals with the behavior of individuals and firms in making decisions. What is balance of trade? Difference between export and import of goods. Balance of trade is the difference between the monetary value of a nation's exports and imports of tangible goods. Which national park was the first to be established in India? Jim Corbett. Established in 1936 as Halle National Park, it was later renamed Jim Corbett National Park. Ujjwala Yojana is related to which of the following? LPG connection. PM Ujjwala Yojana provides LPG connections to women from below poverty line (BPL) households. Which scheme aims to provide clean energy to rural households through waste to wealth? Gobardhan. Galvanizing organic bioagro resources Dhan, Gobardhan, focuses on managing cattle dung and solid waste into compost and biogas. Which is the oldest artificial port on the east coast of India? Chennai Port. The Chennai port is the second largest container port of India and the oldest artificial port on the eastern coast. The Fertile Crescent includes parts of which modern-day countries? Iraq, Syria, and Turkey. The Fertile Crescent is a crescent-shaped region in the Middle East that was home to some of the earliest civilizations. Which projection is widely used in India for topographical maps? Survey of India. Polyconic. The polyconic projection was historically the standard for topo sheets in India. A person who migrated to Pakistan from India after 1st March 1947, but later returned to India under a permit for resettlement, can become an Indian citizen under Article 7. Article 7 overrides Articles 5 and 6 and deals with the citizenship rights of certain migrants to Pakistan who returned to India. The science of growing fruit and vegetables is horticulture. Horticulture focuses on the cultivation of garden plants. Which sensor is used to detect heat emitted from the Earth's surface? Thermal infrared sensor. Thermal sensors measure the temperature of objects. Which of the following is known as the Flamingo City of India? Rann of Kutch. The Rann of Kutch in Gujarat is a famous breeding ground for greater flamingos. What was the role of the N or NC in early Sumerian cities? Priest king. The N or NC was a local ruler who often combined religious and political authority. The innermost layer of the earth is the core. The core has a radius of about 3,500 kilometers and is made of knife, nickel and ferrous. Who argued that state is an instrument of oppression and limits freedom? Marxists. Marxists believe the state maintains the class dominance of the bourgeoisie, thereby restricting true freedom for the working class. In which city is the Salarjung Museum located? Hyderabad. The Salarjung Museum is an art museum located at Darul Shifa, Hyderabad. PM Swanidhi is a microcredit scheme launched for which category of people? Street vendors. PM Street Vendors Atmanirbhar Nidhi provides working capital loans to street vendors to resume their livelihoods post-pandemic. Large-scale maps show more detail of a small area. Large scale is equal to big detail, small area. Which mission was launched for the rejuvenation and conservation of the river Ganga? Namami Gange. Namami Gange is an integrated conservation mission to accomplish the objectives of effective abatement of pollution and conservation of the Ganga. Where is the headquarters of the World Trade Organization, WTO? Geneva. The WTO is headquartered in Geneva, Switzerland. Topographical maps in India are prepared by Survey of India. Survey of India, headquartered in Dehradun, is the national mapping agency. Which state has the highest density of roads in India? Kerala. Kerala has the highest road density in the country, significantly higher than the national average. Which country is the largest trading partner of India? Recent trend? USA. The USA has recently emerged as India's largest trading partner, surpassing China. Neap tides occur when the sun and moon are at right angles to each other. This results in lower high tides. The process by which green plants make their own food is called photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is the process where plants use sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide to create glucose.